Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative, Eddy Cool. The Sports Bros Podcast is a sports podcast that's by the fans, for the fans, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. That's right. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see me, you see the almighty B Live, and you see the money man, Scottie D. We had to take a little brief break last week, but guess what? We're back. We're back, and there's a whole lot to talk about. Shout out to everyone that's been listening to us from day one, our subscribers, new subscribers, old subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, go to anchor.fm, look up the Sports Bros Podcast. Also check us out on our YouTube channel, the Sports Bros Podcast as well too. Scottie D, you're looking good, man. High and tight, baby. It's high and baby. Tight. High and tight. And also, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a 5-star rating. I'm going to tell you why, because it makes us easier to find. I mean, look at this logo. You can't, there's no way in hell you can't miss us. There's two black guys and a white guy. Well, he looks a little light-skinned here, but in the words of the almighty B Live, I digress. Just do like I say, subscribe, leave a review. We'll love you, and we appreciate you for it now more than ever. All right, Ed, it's time to shut up and introduce your co-host. You're right, sir. Introducing first, the almighty B Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? 118 episodes strong. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a hint. Breaking news. This is going to be the first time this has ever happened in history on this podcast. Stay tuned for something big later. And with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce the other guy, because something tells me that he's going to be really enthused about what happens later on this episode. Yes, sir.
He's always enthused, and back from his vacation from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, the one, the only, the money man, Scottie D.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little guardians, 4, 5 little, 6 little guardians. Oh, you know the rest. You know the rest of the song. Lots happened since the last time we were here, man. Oh, my goodness. Olympics are going on. Baseball teams changes names. Giannis carrying a trophy around. All kinds of stuff to talk about, man. I'm ready to get into it with you, my fellas, my co-hosts, my bros.
Okay, see, this will let you know that we are unscripted, because, like, I didn't know where he was going with that, and then it hit my brain, and then when he said it, I just wow. I'm glad I wasn't drinking a glass of water right then and there, because it has just been all over my equipment here. But Scottie, you stupid.
You would have been like the Great Muda, just spit the mist, spit.
I'm literally crying. I'm not even lying.
Hey, who is your favorite member of the Village People? The cop or the guardian?
Was there a sailor? Was there a pirate?
Oh boy, the Village People. Yeah.
There was the motorcycle guy. There was the cop. There was the guardian. And I don't remember the rest of them.
When I tell you that one of my famous lines right here, we digress. But man, congratulations to the Cleveland Guardians. At least they picked the name, and
that's true.
And
the
on
Cleveland
top
baseball
of that,
team.
Yeah,
they picked an 8-bit graphic designer to make their logo. Like, it's 2021. And I don't know where that logo came from. That's from the 19th. It has to have
it looked like a middle school. Somebody at the middle school decided to do it.
Facts. So I'm like, it has to have some historical meaning. We can talk about this all day, but yeah.
Yep.
Eddy Cool, Amtrak this thing, man.
All right, and this is episode number 118 of the Sports Bros Podcast. And we're back from hiatus, and as you can tell, some things just don't change. hold on to your underwear because it's gonna be a good and funny show. All right, let's talk about this whole Simone Biles situation, man. She said that she was gonna sit out the Olympics, the earlier portion of the Olympics because she wasn't right mentally. As y'all know, I'm a big advocate of mental health, and I believe if you ain't got your mental health, you can forget about doing anything physically, fellas. So she's faced a lot of scrutiny on social media. As opposed as like one state senator just called her unpatriotic and lazy. It's just a absolute dumpster fire. She's catching hell for it for protecting her mental health, which is absolute BS. But I'm going to ask you, bros, what do you think about this whole Simone Biles situation?
Well, Eddie, why don't you go first on this one? You always defer to us. I mean, you kind of gave us a little insight on it, but you've been open with us about working on your own mental health and looking out for other people's mental health. And you've done some therapy that you said that have helped you work through some issues in the past that have brought you a long way. Mm-hmm. What were you thinking throughout this whole situation?
You know, it's no secret. I'm a advocate for mental health, and I look at it like this: like if you don't protect your mental health, then no one else will. No one else will. I mean, everybody. If you look at, also being a former high school football player, I've played through pain, and it was an ankle sprain, but but mentally it was just I was like, I gotta play, I gotta go, I gotta play. I just think that in this instance, we all. Let's go outside of sports for a second. We all should put our mental health as a priority because if we don't, no one else will. And I understand that you train and work all your life for this very moment. But if you look at Simone Biles, she can retire today. She's done a lot. She's done a great deal of stuff. Like who does she have to prove? What else left does she have to prove? You look at athletes like her and Michael Phelps, they've won everything once, twice, 3 times. They have nothing left to prove. And I believe that if the brain, the mind, and the body, they work in unison, because in order to be a top of the line, top notch, world-class athlete, it all starts with the mental training up here first. All right. You have to have that mental right, because if that mental is not right, if you're not in the right place, you're dealing with a lot of stuff. Life, whatever you got going on, you could just quickly just the Amtrak can go in a ditch, and then sometimes you manage to get the train back up on the track real quick, and sometimes it takes longer than the others. Like I said, y'all know my story. Mom died in 2018, brother died in 2019. My train was in the ditch, in the canyon. I don't know if I was going to be able to pull it out, but through the grace of God and therapy and this podcast and everybody that's that's circling around me, I was able to pull it out. And like with her receiving this ridicule, like from people, like, first of all, can you even turn a flip, as they say back home? Can you even cut a cartwheel? Like what have you done to be like, oh, well, she shouldn't do this, she shouldn't do that? Like, I understand this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, but you have to look at these several factors here. She's pretty much done everything. All right. And she put her team first because she like, man, I don't want to be the reason that I cost my team a shot at victory, because they're not going to look at everybody else. They're going to look at Simone Biles. They're going to look at you. They're going to just take this finger and do this and point at her. Like, she's going to be the reason. She's going to be the GOAT why they didn't do it. I think with the circumstances and situations of the Olympics, you got to think about the COVID's going on, and she might have an undisclosed injury. Just might be a whole lot going on. For prime example, Sha'Carri Richardson. Her mother passed away. She turned to marijuana, but yet and still, when it comes to the Olympics, hey, you got rules to follow, and you do things. You got to face the consequences of your actions. I just believe that people should just have some empathy and lighten up a little bit, because somebody told me something a while back, because I used to be a hard ass and tough on people. They said, if you're not right mentally, then you can't be your best you. And if you're out there trying to give your best you and knowing that you're not right mentally, then you can't give your 100%. You can't give your all. But Simone Biles was on she was on the sidelines cheering her team along and everything and making sure everybody was good. So at least she didn't check all the way out. Now I'm over here looking at some of my notes, and it says she'll be competing today, Tuesday, in a balance beam final. So I just say, man, you just have to take care of your mental health. And to everybody out there that's looking at her like she's a quitter, I see it like this. Let me get in this camera because I want y'all to see this. You have gone through some things in your life that have altered your thinking, that have altered your mind state, that have took you out the game. The only reason we don't know about it is because you're not famous. So if she said she needs to take a step back and put her team first above herself, then let her do that. You're not out there training with her. You're not there with her. As the kids say, you wouldn't in the gym shooting with us. Or however that line goes. I know about stuff, but you get it. But to call her names and say that she's this and she's that, she's the third is like this. Number one, you can't cut a flip. Number two, you might think mental health is a joke. And number three, she'll be back Tuesday. She'll probably be better than ever. And that's all I got to say about that.
Eddy Cool, thank you. Thank you, because not only did you took the words right out of my mouth, because I would like to say for anybody and everybody that's out there in this world that got something to call Simone Biles outside of her God-given name that her mother named her, can kindly STFU. I'm going to say it like that. If you don't know how the toughness it is to be a gymnast, and there's a incredible amount of mental toughness when it comes to these routines that they do, is ridiculously tough. Not my forte, because guess what? I am 6'5", 310 pounds. I ain't gymnast flip nothing in my entire life. But I just know because I've studied a little bit, and that's what people should do. And on top of that, the amount of mental strength that it takes to say, you know what, I need to take a break because I'm not 100% there. Check this out. I'm just going to throw out some names for you that you might not know, because if you have not been paying attention. Grace McCullum, Sunisha Lee, Jordan Childs, Michaela Skinner, Jade Carey. They're more on the U.S. gymnast team outside of Simone Biles. Mm-hmm. On the floor exercise, where Simone Biles has killed the game from the past few years, guess who won gold at the Olympics this year?
Ooh.
Another American by the name of Jade Carey. She took gold because, and you know what? That right there, if that don't speak volumes, because guess what? She not only stepped away because of her mental state, she also elevated her teammates and gave them an opportunity, because the team exercise, they won silver still. They won silver after she backed out because it allowed her other teammates to shine. She knew how capable her teammates were. It's a team event. Michaela Skinner won silver in the vault exercise, something that Simone Biles also participated in. So the team is still winning. So for the ones out there that are calling Simone Biles a quitter and she's unpatriotic, shut up. Study something and do better. Unbelievable. It does not make any sense to me. It makes zero sense. You've never been in these high-profile situations, high stress. The world, literally the world is watching. You've never been in that position before. So how dare you judge another human being? Buddy. Simone Biles, do your thing. Take care of your mentals. Well, what did Marshawn Lynch say? Take care of your chickens.
Yeah,
that's how he said. Take care of your chickens. But hey, Simone Biles, and to every athlete that's out there, yes, thank you so much for your entertainment. Yes, you get paid to play a sport. Congratulations. Your skill, your hard work, your ethic got you to where you're at. All of us are entitled to a breakdown here and there. But some of this scrutiny is unreal. Just it's unreal to me. So anybody that's having issues mental wise, do what you have to do for yourself. You do not have an obligation to a majority of this public. When it comes to sponsorships and stuff like that, if they don't care about your mentals, then the heck with them. Don't lose your mental health because of a dollar bill. Period.
Please don't.
Please don't. I promise you that. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people today. They think the dollar bill is everything. It's not. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Sorry, hey, I'm go biblical with it. It is exactly what it is. Take care of your mentals. Real talk. Whew, yep. Scottie D, where you at? What you got? What you got for us?
Well, I'm actually glad that we didn't do this podcast right when this situation first broke, because I wanted to. I'm glad I had time to kind of think on this and digest it a little bit, because Simone Biles was part of the young group of girls who was victimized by Larry Nassar. So this girl in her life has overcome things that a young girl shouldn't have to overcome. I mean, we don't know the extent of which she was assaulted, but she was at some point. She dealt with something that was pretty unspeakable that no young girl should have to deal with, and it has come through because she went on and won Olympic gold after that happened. I mean, and she's been the best in the world, won world championships. She's got a list of credentials a mile long. She's overcome a lot. I know she was ADHD and took Ritalin for that. So she's been public about some of the things she's overcome, and seemingly has looked good. I mean, she won Dancing with the Stars and has been, winning competitions and endorsements and stuff. She doesn't have anything to prove. She doesn't have anything to prove to me. She doesn't have anything to prove to the world. She's already the best in the world, probably, you could safely say, coming into this competition. To say she let her teammates down, I think is a little unfair, because we're not her teammates. They're the ones who personally know her, and I can't speak on how they would feel. When she got to the point where she said, "I can't do this. It's going to hurt the team. I have to step aside." If she goes through with it, she might hurt herself. Gymnastics are dangerous if you're not in the right mental state. But here's where I had the problem with it. When everyone is giving her credit for saying, "I can't do it. I can't go on." I would like to have had her say, "I had a tough day yesterday, but damn it, I'm Simone Biles. I'm the best in the world, and I am going to overcome this tomorrow. And whether I win or lose, I'm going to compete." And that was the issue that I had. Not that she's saying, I quit," because it wasn't really as black and white as that. She went out there and was having a bad day. But when did this mental health thing happen with her? I mean, she won the world championships. She qualified to be in the Olympics. Was this really like, how do I want to say this? Is it, I know she's mentally strong because of what I just said, of what she has gone through and overcome, but competitively, this seemed like this was like the first real bump in the road for her in competition, not in life, forget all about that, but in the playing field. This was like the first time she's had a real bump in the road. Mm-hmm. And it felt to me like I wanted to see her say, "I am strong enough to overcome this, and I'm going to go back out there tomorrow, and I'm going to be better. I'm going to show everybody why I'm the best in the world." On Saturday night at the opening night of the Olympics, we saw a big preview. Katie Ledecky, gold medal winning swimmer, is going to be taking on her biggest opponent. It's Ari Titmus, and she went out there and lost. And the next night, 2 nights later, she faced her again and lost again. And an hour later, she went out and won another gold medal. She was emotional. She was upset that she lost on the biggest stage when this had been promoted. These two were going at it, and she overcame that. I wanted to see that out of Simone Biles. And maybe we'll get that, with the Tuesday morning thing, that she's going to go back up. This will be less pressure on her because in this event, she won bronze in the last Olympics. So this is not her strongest event. So she's not expected to go out and win gold here. But that was the only problem I had with that is I feel like, and I'm not saying this is her, but it is easy, I think, if somebody wants to give up and quit, they can just say, mental health, whether it is or is not. You know what I mean? That's something you can't prove. And if you question that, then you come off looking like the bad guy. And I'm not, it's just, I think it's a very gray area in there that if anybody says, "Oh man, I don't feel like going out there today," and someone says, "Come on, you got to do it. You got to do it." You know what I mean? Mental health. It's from mental health. It's like a built-in excuse that people can use. And that's where it created a little bit of confusion for me that, ESPN every January, February, they do a whole month promoting the Jimmy V Foundation. And what's that slogan? Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Yeah, don't ever give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You're right.
Don't ever give up. And it feel like right away when she gave up, when Simone Biles gave up here, everyone was quick to applaud. And I had a little bit of issue with that. Like I said, now I'm digesting it and I'm seeing, I mean, I don't want this girl to go out there and hurt herself, guys. I don't want to go out. If she has twisties or whatever they call that, I don't want to see that. She absolutely did the right thing. All I'm saying is I wish that she would have, just kind of revved herself up and been mentally into the zone of saying, I am going to go out there and I'm going to be better tomorrow just because I had a bad day yesterday. And that's kind of where I fall on it. None of us have achieved perfect physical health or mental health. I've dealt with it myself. I've had days when I was in college where I couldn't get out of bed for a week at a time and had terrible grades. I essentially packed it in a couple times, So I understand, there were times I didn't even know why I was depressed. I didn't even know why I didn't get out of bed. I just knew that I just didn't feel mentally right. So I'm not, faulting her for feeling the way she's feeling and for making the decision. But at first, it just kind of bothered me that she was setting this precedent that others can use to say, oh, well, mental health. And let me ask you guys this. In 3 years, they're going to be in Paris. What do you do with Simone Biles at that point? Because let's say she rebounds from this and wins world championships between now and then. Is this going to be like a mental block for her to be in the Olympics? I mean, we saw, remember Chuck Knobloch for the Yankees? He got to the point he couldn't throw the ball to first base. He had a mental block about throwing the ball, 10 feet away. Mm-hmm. I mean, is this going to be something that Simone Biles is going to deal with the rest of her life going forward? Or does she retire? I mean, this is a very strange situation. She had a book came out a couple of years ago. You know what the name of it was? What? Courage to Soar. Courage to Soar. This girl has proved courageous in her life. She's proved to be the best. And I hope that she gets back. I hope that in 3 years, she's back there winning a ton of gold again. That's what I want to see. I want to see Simone Biles overcome this, and I want to see her be the best in the world again. That's where I feel. That's where I stand on it. So I hope I'm not coming across as being a bad guy for looking at this other perspective, because other people are looking at that perspective and they're just saying, she's a quitter. She's a quitter. She let her team down. And I don't feel that way, but I do feel like I would have liked to have seen her overcome that before going to the Olympics or before the second day of the Olympics. That's kind of where I was at with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you listen to the Sports Bros podcast, because you get different perspectives. You get different perspectives. You get different views. Nobody is all in unison. We like, look, hey, I feel like this. B-Live feels like this. And Scottie D feels like this. Just like I can't stand Clemson just as much as B-Live can't stand South Carolina. And, and just like much as me and B-Live can't stand Scottie D's Cowboys, but that's neither here nor there. But we digress. Scottie D, they're going to go 37-0 this year, but he got another thing coming. If
I may opine real quick on what Scottie D said, I'm actually very thankful he said that, because that is something that we do need to see, especially when it comes to our young people. We do want to see a little bit better of an example, because that precedent is somewhat set. Do I fault her for that? Not necessarily, because it takes a lot in order for that to be the mindset and everything. But it's literally, we have our role models. We have people that we look up to. But at the end of the day, these life lessons should be taught in the house. If we're leaning too heavily on our athletes and our public figures to mold our children, we failed. We have failed as a society. What parents should be teaching their children in this instance, that, hey, we want you to take care of your mental focus. And this points out, but we want you to continue to fight and never give up. Like, it should be a balance of both.
Yes.
Yes.
And
so
balance.
I agree, because if there is a young girl out there who's young in gymnastics, a young girl who's in the beginning stages, or a year into whatever, just a young girl who looks up to Simone Biles, I think this can positively affect them in a way that if they are not doing well, that they can express that. They won't be as afraid to say, I don't think I can do this right now. Maybe I need a break. Maybe I need a month away from it, or maybe I'm going to go play girls softball or something. It might be something that's not for them, and it'll just take them away from that kind of built-in pressure. So, I mean, there definitely could be a positive side of that. But like you said, B-Live, I think there got to be a balance in there too, where you can't just let someone say, I don't want to do it, I quit, and just let them off the hook. You have to be able to say, don't give up, because, that's why a lot of people achieve their dreams. Katie Ledecky didn't give up, and she won a gold after, like I said, losing to her biggest rival on the biggest stage with everybody watching. Serena Williams won 20-some Grand Slam championships. Surely there were days in those, because every tournament takes like 2 weeks. Surely there were days where she wasn't feeling like going out there and playing. That's a lot of tennis she's played, and I'm sure she's overcome things where she's like, I just don't feel like getting out there. I can't do it. Something's going on in her personal life or physical well-being, and she overcame it. And that's true for most successful athletes. And Simone Biles is like the total package. She's got personality and skill, and she's beautiful, and a lot going for a young girl.
Yep.
Man, I really hope that in 3 years she's back winning gold in Paris. I really do hope for that.
Yeah, I hope for that too, man. I hope for that too. Just like like B-Live said, Scottie D, there has to be balance. I mean, yeah, like B-Live said, there has to be balance. Like Scottie D said, you can't, you just, all situations are different, but I believe you should at least, all right, well, let me try. Let me go out there and try and see how it is, because you never know. Because for me, a real quick story. I know we got to move on. I remember the year I graduated college. It was that January after my mom passed. That would be 2019. I remember sitting in this very office. I just sat on the floor, and I was like, I don't know how in the hell I'm gonna do this, but I got to get it done. At one point, I was wrestling with quitting college altogether, like, oh, I'm done with life altogether. And then something said, look, you gotta go. And so it was just, before I started therapy, I willed myself to finish through college, because me personally, I kind of got a bad habit of starting and stopping stuff. But I said to myself, my mom's death, it impacted me a great deal, but I said, I will not let this stop me from where I'm going, because fellas, I'm going to tell you, if I would have stopped, there would have been no Sports Bros podcast, none whatsoever.
Don't give up, Eddie. Don't ever give up.
Nah, don't ever give up. All right, moving right along, fellas. Here we go. We got Aaron Rodgers. He decided to come back to camp, and boy, did he have a whole lot to say. Fellas, did you get a chance to watch the press conference?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't see that one. I wish he would have quit.
Oh boy,
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he pretty much I think he picked an opportune time to be like, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to tell you everything and then some. B-Live, what was your takeaway from Aaron Rodgers' press conference? Could this be the last dance in Green Bay? Like, what are we going to look forward to this upcoming season?
I honestly, this is what I think. I think this is the last hurrah. This is the last year we see Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay uniform, and I think he's going to go out in Aaron Rodgers fashion. I'm gonna put on right now. I'm betting money on Aaron Rodgers. I think he's gonna have the best season ever. I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go out this year. He's gonna ball out, and he's gonna be like. And then at the very end of it all, wherever it ends up being, if Green Bay finds a way to win a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers is gonna be like, you know what, and I'm out. This is what you should have done a long time ago. You should have gave me the long-term extension. You should have had me involved in other decisions and everything like this. But I'm Aaron freaking Rodgers, and I'm a bad man. That's what he said in that press conference. He's like, man, this is what I want, and this is what I've seen you do time and time again as an organization. You've not taken care of your veterans, and you've just let them just go off into the and you wonder why we really haven't been able to put something together. But I am Aaron freaking Rodgers. You should have came up. You should have paid me my coins when I wanted it. You didn't want to do it then. Then you slapped me in the face by picking my replacement in the first round, and then you just let your veteran side. And he did not hold his tongue. And I applaud the man. I applaud him 100%. People may call him a diva. Sorry, Uncle Max. I know this might sting a little bit when I say this. Man, he said exactly how he felt. He said what he said. And maybe his answers were a little diva-ish, but he got his point across. I guarantee you that much. The organization, they heard him. And I think it's too little, too late. If they don't, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I really don't think. But I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna ball out again. I think he might repeat his MVP. But I tell you this much: after this year, it's gonna be a long, long time. After this year, that for the Packers to be competitive, it's gonna be a long time. Their franchise is going to be suffering because not only now has Aaron Rodgers put that precedent out there that Green Bay does not take care of their veterans. Why would any free agent want to sign with Green Bay, especially now that they don't have Aaron Rodgers after this year? It's going to be tough for them to rebuild a football team.
They don't sign a ton of free agents anyway.
They don't.
They always kind of try to build within and maybe pick up the occasional free agent or trade, but I don't. You know what? I'm glad that this is settled though, rather than going through 4 weeks of training camp and then the week before the season started, hey, Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Good. At least we got rid of all that because that was already boring all summer hearing about that. Was Aaron Rodgers going to be at Green Bay? What's Aaron Rodgers going to? What's going on with Aaron Rodgers? He's on TV golfing with Bryson DeChambeau. I'm glad this is over. Good. I can't wait till the Cowboys kick his butt. I don't know. Did they play this year? I'm not even sure. Anyway.
I you know what, I look at it like this. I'm just glad that he finally came out and, like B-Live said what he said and got it off his chest because what was the last big thing? He rejected some money. Then he said it ain't about the money. So I'm over thinking like, well, how much money is it? But wait a minute, he said it's not about the money. And then when he sat there and had that onion in his hand and he started peeling the layers, and I'm looking at my notes, he said, he wanted to offer his services as a recruiter. He admits, he said, hey, it was a draft day thing. You can take it how you want to with that one. They failed to retain character veterans. He wanted to be involved in the conversation involving free agents. Like, this is your star player. You better listen to him because he got to throw that football. He got to throw the football to somebody. And he has to have the talent in order to be successful. It did come off a little divish. It did come off of this. It did come off as that. But I'm just glad that we finally know what the hell is going on and the reasonings from February until now. I'm glad because I got tired of hearing Adam Schefter reports. Somebody said this. Somebody said that. I didn't hear from the horse's mouth himself.
It's one of those things where Aaron Rodgers literally watched Tom Brady pick his own team.
Yeah.
Was involved in every bit of free agency, and he picked a Super Bowl winning team. And Aaron Rodgers over here like, what? I've been trying to say this for years and watch Tom Brady literally just do exactly what Aaron Rodgers has been trying to do for years.
But Brady also took a lot less money to be able to do that. He gave his team more flexibility to be able to do that.
That he did.
I'm taking the check if the team's not going to listen to me anyway.
Well, I'm just saying.
And still got him to the conference title game. Shoot, man, I don't know. I just know that Aaron Rodgers said what he said, and it's going to be a long few years in Green Bay. Jordan Love, you better get ready. And as they say, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, but bruh. You're going to have some big shoes to fill after this year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Some big old shoes to fill. All right, moving right along, fellas. Scottie D, I'm not going to lie. I've been seeing some of the baseball trades, but I haven't really had a chance to look at them all. Real quick, winners and losers of these trades and who's making a push to the playoffs?
I think the Well, three stand out for me. Obviously, one is the Yankees because they got Rizzo and Joey Gallo, two big bats. Again, both guys that aren't hitting well for average, but it seemed to put a spark in them. They had a good weekend. The Red Sox got Kyle Schwarber, and they got swept by the Rays. Both those teams trail the Rays. Rays are in first place in their division. But the big race is out west with the San Francisco Giants and the Dodgers and the Padres. They all made significant trades. The Giants picked up Chris Bryant, which is significant, which, by the way, all three of the Cubs big guys that got traded, Rizzo, Bryant, Javi Baez, all homered in their first game with their new team. Very interesting that the Cubs weren't winning more with those three. But we've seen the craziness going on with the Dodgers and Trevor Bauer. They go and get Max Scherzer. They also added Danny Duffy, reliever from the Royals, and Trey Turner from the Nationals. The Dodgers probably would love to win that division, but we know they're going to be in the postseason. You added Max Scherzer in there into your postseason rotation, man, and we know pitching, how important pitching is in the postseason. I think that was maybe the most significant. I know Scherzer has been hurt a little bit this year, but he's still Max Scherzer, and come playoff time, if anything's ailing him, I'm sure he'll get the time needed to go in there 100%. But that was the one that I liked the most because the Dodgers, they're the defending champion. They've been good every year, postseason every year. So they may be even kind of on cruise control. They don't have the sense of urgency to get up for every regular season games, over 162 regular season schedule. I like that. That's what I like, because I like Max Scherzer. I think he's money.
Yep. I agree with that, man. It's just, hey, man, the damn Dodgers. The Dodgers had to do what they had to do. And like you said, man, that National League West is very tightly contested. You got the Giants, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't think the Giants were going to do anything this year. You got the Giants,
no,
and I thought it was going to be a 2-team race between the Padres and the Dodgers, but the Giants.
I did too.
The Giants said, "Oh, wait a minute, player, we got something to say too." And so, yeah, that does it for the NMLB trade section of the Sports Bros podcast. All right, now some more news this past week, because we took the week off, but we digress. In the words of the Almighty Be Live, we are back like bad breath in the morning. University of Oklahoma and Texas said, you know what, Big 12, it's been cool, but we finna go play some real football in the Southeastern Conference, the SEC. So, fellas, what do you think this means for the landscape of college football with two traditional story powerhouses, Oklahoma and Texas, going to the Southeastern Conference? Be Live, I want to hear what you got to say about this.
Well,
he said, well,
I have so many mixed emotions. There's this outright rage. Just like, it's just like, I just don't understand what exactly, what are we trying to accomplish? What exactly is going on? This is a money move. The competition wise of it really doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it just, I'm gonna tell you know what, I'm gonna say it like this. There's so much still to unravel with this, because of course this is only the first of the dominoes to fall. Does the SEC stay at 16 teams? Because I spoke up before of how the NCAA is basically taking its grasp of football. They're basically like, you know what? Football is doing its own thing. Let the conferences handle it. They've got their own committee and all that stuff. Let the conferences just deal with it. So the ineptitude of the NCAA could very well possibly be the cause of this. This right now just solidifies the fact that the level playing field when it comes to college football at the college football playoff level is gone. It was already, the scales were tilted slightly already when it came to the SEC. Now it's full blown insanity. I could tell you right now, I feel bad for teams like Vanderbilt. I feel bad for, I'm going to say this.
Go ahead. Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
I feel bad for South Carolina.
Listen, because soon as I saw that, I was like, we're done. It's over with. We need a miracle from God.
I'm going to say this as a diehard Clemson fan. All roads lead to Dabo. South Carolina was already losing the recruiting battle within their own state with their right. They're already losing that battle. Now you've just made the SEC that much tougher. You know who else I feel bad for? Texas A&M. Texas A&M literally thought they had a grasp. They were like, we are now about to dominate Texas recruiting because Texas, Oklahoma, they still in the Big 12. Big 12 ain't doing big things. A&M, we're in the SEC. And they were, you could see Texas A&M was the premier school in Texas. They were top 10 last year. They were top 5. They only had one loss last year, and that was to the eventual champion Alabama. And the only thing that kept Texas A&M out of the playoff was the fact that Alabama beat the brakes off them so bad that they allowed two teams from the ACC to get in there, which did not end up too well in the playoff. But that's neither here nor there. But now there's talks about Clemson and Florida State possibly going to the SEC. It's right now, college football as it stands right now is a full-on pandemonium. Most likely this does not matriculate until 2025 when I think like the TV rights or something like that with the conference has concluded, so they don't have to pay. Like right now, I think Texas and Oklahoma, if they were to leave the Big 12, it would cost them all around $70 million to leave the Big 12 right now. So I think right now it wouldn't be wise to just jump ship right now. I think like literally over the course of time, just the mere fact that hey, two recruits say, hey, we're making a move to the SEC soon. This is the place to be. Boom. And so like that right there alone it's gonna affect a lot of things. I still think Alabama still out recruits Texas and Texas A&M in their own state because it's just Alabama. But
yeah, what is Texas thinking? They haven't even been good in this conference. Here's what I would have done if I was Texas. I would have called up Oklahoma and said, yo, what do you think about moving over to the SEC with me? And they say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then after Oklahoma signs their letter of intent, like, yo, I think I'm going to stick around back here to Big 12. And then you might win a conference championship once in a while. Then you open it up and just send Oklahoma. They're not winning their own conference. They haven't been good in a long time. And now you're going to add Auburn and Alabama and Georgia to your schedule on a regular basis. Come on, Texas. That was not wise. But it's just showing that we're headed probably to a 4 conference power conference kind of setup, I think, because I think that the bones are going to get picked now from the Big 12 whenever your big dogs are gone. It's only a matter of time. And what's going to become of Notre Dame? Is anybody going to convince them to jump in? Because it seems like they would be a perfect fit for the Big 10. If I'm the Big 10, I would be aggressive right now and trying to go after Notre Dame and get them in there just to add a little bit more to their own conference. Because right now, everything's tilting to the SEC because, Texas is in the southeastern part of the United States. I mean, it's getting crazy, guys. I mean, good thing we're going to have more playoff spots open to let teams in from other conferences. Expand that playoff field.
I just think that I'm looking at the whole landscape of college football. And I'm like, man, what in the hell is going on? I'm not going to lie to you. I might be that guy, but let's face it. They don't play no defense in the Big 12. When they play each other, it's like a college.
Not like the SEC.
No, the SEC plays defense. Like the only time somebody might drop a 50 burger in the SEC is if you have Alabama playing South Carolina. There, I said it. Or Alabama playing Vanderbilt. Just know that Alabama got something to do with it. Alabama will hang a 60 burger on somebody. We're not talking about the Little Sisters of the Poor, Technical Institute of West Tennessee, Arkansas, and Kentucky. We're not talking about all that. It's just the fact that like there's a shift. There's a shift, and it's kind of like what the world's going on. Because think about it. Texas has the what's it called? The Longhorn Network. I think they were one of the first to have their own network dedicated to that university. So think about it. When you think about like how is that going to work out between the SEC and the Longhorn Network? How is that going to work out? I mean, it's something to think about. And now since because what came first? The Longhorn Network, and then they came with the SEC, the Pac-12, and everybody had a network after Texas. So as B-Live said, it's plainly a money move. I know why Notre Dame will not join the conference, because that TV deal that they have with NBC is too sweet. And
but if the Big Ten goes after them and they're able to somehow keep that in place, if they can negotiate that, which nowadays things get negotiated, it never did in the past, and I would say that's a possibility. But in the meantime, the Big 12, they're mad at ESPN. They said they were messing with them, trying to get more of their big, because ESPN doesn't have Big 12 rights, so they're saying that ESPN wanted these guys in the SEC because they would have better ratings because they have SEC rights. And I think Big 12 is on Fox and something else, but anyway,
Fox.
It's a mess. College football a mess again.
Well,
again.
I have the answers for you, by the way. Texas, upon joining the SEC, there would be no more Longhorn Network. That's part of the deal. Their TV rights would be exclusively with the SEC. Notre Dame has rights and an agreement with the ACC with football all the way to 2037.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So they will not be going to the Big Ten.
Nope. And of course, that's just football. Every other sport Notre Dame plays, they are in the ACC.
That is true.
So, football is the only one where they're independent. Basketball
doesn't it geographically make sense? They're right in the heart of it. I mean,
Texas is not in the southeast.
I agree.
Oklahoma is nowhere close to the southeast.
Hell, West Virginia is not neither. How the hell West Virginia in the Big 12? Is I look at it like this, I'm like, I'm thinking about this big
Coastal Carolina's in the Sun Belt, so if that makes any sense to you, geographically, nothing makes any sense.
Nothing makes sense. Like the Detroit Lions, there's no what did Michael Blackson said? There's no Lions in Detroit. There are pimps and hustlers in Detroit. Yeah, that makes about as much sense as these teams get named. These conference realignments, like West Virginia is like over here. Like the Big 12 is like Oklahoma, Nebraska. Like the wild west. I'm like, how did West Virginia? I'm like, well, it's understandable because West Virginia plays a Big 12 style of football and they don't play no defense and they score a lot of points. Because B-Live, you remember that time West Virginia hung 76 on Clemson? Like how?
That was by far not necessary. That is not what. Good God from everything. That had nothing to do with. Shut up.
Hey, I
was not. No, you weren't. Shut up. But you know what? No, see, you brought it up. You want to go there. You want to go there. Fine. Thank you, West Virginia. Because if it wasn't for West Virginia, Clemson wouldn't have Coach Venables at defensive coordinator, and we wouldn't have one of the most dominant defenses in the country. So you know what? Thank you.
I don't know why you're getting mad about it. It helped y'all out a big deal. It helped you out a big deal. It sucked for the rest of the country, but it helped y'all out a big deal.
Yeah. But y'all, I could talk about this for days, but no.
And not to mention, Italy's girls volleyball team has some cuties on it. I just wanted to put that out there. They're playing the United States right now, and there's some cute girls out there.
I'm gonna need you to focus on the podcast, sir. You seem a little distracted.
I'm trying to keep up with the Olympics. It's sports.
Yep. And speaking of keeping up with the Olympics, fellas,
because I know there's some things that we want to talk.
Yeah, fellas, guess what time it is?
Well, what time is it? What's going on in the world? What's happening?
It is time once again for our favorite portion of the show, an Olympic themed version of the choices of the voices. And with that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and ever so lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show. Man, you heard the woman. She ain't got no right or reason to lie. This is the choices of the voices. And we are back after 1 week. So you know what that means? That means y'all gave us a few more answers than what we had before, and we greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Oh, there I go again on my own, doing some more of that incoherent rambling. Scottie D, what was the question for this week's Choices of the Voices?
All right. In the spirit of the Olympics, we did one more Olympic question, the third in 3 weeks, and asked, who is your favorite all-time summer Olympian? Eddie, we got a couple good answers here. What do we get, buddy?
All right, we got a couple good answers. Here we go. We got Jim Hansen, not the Muppet Man. I hope he don't mind me saying that. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. He doesn't, because he keeps on answering every week. Jim Hansen, he said Usain Bolt. No explanation needed. Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think everybody likes him.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes him. I mean, he wasn't an American, but all the American people love Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah. Usain Bolt was he was doing everything, man. I hope he's enjoying retirement. Or as B-Live said, as he popped that hamstring, pow! Because sometimes that's what it sounds like, in your head, like a shotgun. All right, we got Benjamin Miller. He said the guy, Scottie D, from your neck of the woods, Kurt Angle, because he won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, man. That's a good answer. I like that because Kurt Angle, if you're at all a wrestling fan, you enjoyed Kurt Angle's career. So that was cool that to go back and refer to him. Actually, another one went with him, I think, right, Eddie?
Yep, Chad Gagne. I hope I didn't butcher it.
Chad Nagy.
Okay, Chad Nagy. I'm sorry, the G is silent. All right. Chad Nagy, he also said Kurt Angle, favorite. The best there will be is Michael Phelps. He said Michael Phelps. He gave us two of them. Kurt Angle and Michael Phelps. Can't argue that one.
And Sports Center, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Whenever you refer to Kurt Angle and his broken neck, it's not just a broken neck. It's a broken freaking neck. Every time. without question. Broken freaking neck. That's all I gotta say.
ESPN, get it together and do better. You've been doing this finger pointing thing with OU in Texas. You're over here acting like the nosy neighbor. The least thing you can do is announce it right. He won the Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Freaking ain't cursing. What's wrong with y'all? We ain't Disney Network, man. Whatever. All right, so Jennifer Roberts, she said Kim Zemeskel, but she's excited to see what Simone Biles does. Kim Zemeskel.
I believe this answer came before all of this happened with Simone Biles.
Yeah,
but still. So yeah, we did take a week hiatus. We do appreciate the answers and everything. But yeah, still, who doesn't want to see what Simone Biles does? Even though, and that's really why we talked about it at the top of the show, at the top of the orders, because we all eyes were on her. So definitely understanding that. Help me out, fellas. Kim Zemeskel. Help me out. I'm drawing a blank.
Gymnast, right, Scott?
Yeah, she was a medal-winning gymnast in '92. Probably overshadowed by the Dream Team, but she was in those Barcelona Olympics. And by the time this podcast comes out, the Simone Biles next competition will be complete because I think it's at 4 a.m. So I will not be awake to see that one.
If I edit this podcast early like I've been doing, it'll be out before she starts flipping.
Yeah. That's
all right. Yeah, because y'all know I've been owning it. I've been owning it as of late. I mean, I got to give the people what they want. I got to give them what they want. All right. Because I know they were tripping. Eddie, cool. Where the hell was the podcast last week? Never fear. We're back.
All right, Jalen and Jacoby over there. Don't sue us. Gotta give the people what they want. I'm sorry.
Gotta give them what they want, man. They asked for it, so supply and demand. We got a need, and they got to get fed or feed. I almost did something real stupid. I'm college educated. I know better than that. Moving right along, we got Jennifer June Roberts. I'm sorry, I just mentioned her. Take 2. We got JR, friend to the show. Be Live, you're going to like this one because you said give us one. He gave us 11 of them. He said it's hard to pick just one. So LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, Manu Ginobili, and Don Staley. All them.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I shouldn't do this, but because since he's just itching for just the slightest bit of recognition, like I want it to be like Bobby Lashley, and I'm not even going to dignify this answer with a response, but just for the heck of it, JR, you stupid, you ignorant, you don't listen, and you did it on purpose this time. Penalty box. You did it on purpose. In the penalty box. You gonna learn today. You gonna
and he
learn.
picked LeBron.
Today.
Come on, LeBron's an NBA player. Come on.
Oh yeah, crazy. Speaking of the penalty box, shout out to Matty Ice and Trey Dizzle for escaping the
Zucker box.
The Zucker box. The Zucker box, aka the Facebook pokey, aka hey, there's no such thing as freedom of speech according to Mark Zuckerberg, because he'll get you for real. Yeah, so shout out to them. I don't think they had anything to contribute this week, but it's good to know that they back out. Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. All right, Corey Logren, he says Jeannie Finch, softball.
Oh, Jenny Finch, yeah,
Jenny Finch.
I like
Jenny Finch. Jenny Finch. All right. Okay.
I can dig that one. Come here, girl. I can dig that one. All right. So here we go. All right. We got Eric. We got Eric Tarpley. Hey, we're fine. I promise. We got Eric Tarpley. He said 2 minutes to name, but I like Carl Lewis, Flojo, and Usain Bolt. One turn.
Yeah. Couple fast track people there. Flojo, the late legend. Carl Lewis, the legendary track star / national anthem singer.
Good God.
and
Then he had the nerve to say, uh-oh.
Yeah. One of the greatest renditions of the national anthem ever done by Carl Lewis. Oh my gosh. Carl Lewis was a stud, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He got robbed of a gold medal moment when Ben Johnson cheated with performance enhancers. And again, Usain Bolt makes the list again. So a couple fast track stars there.
Yep, he is the man. All right, we got Dana Holston. All right, she said, can't pick. Love watching the Olympics. I cry with the awesome stories. Haha. Cheering for PSU throwers this summer, Joe Kovacs and Michael Shuey. And PSU soccer coach is on the staff as well, too. Cheering for Team USA women's soccer.
Yeah, they took one on the chin, losing to Canada 1-0.
Yeah, that just happened this Monday, just before the recording. 36 game win streak, have not lost since 2001. Ouch. The USA, hey, women, we love you. There's gonna be, oh boy, they're gonna catch some controversy with all the kneeling. I ain't gonna talk about it. But I'm gonna digress a little bit. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Dana Wenger. I'm gonna say that she is a Nittany Lion. I'm gonna say,
and she was a thrower there, and she was a stud. She's a legend. She was fantastic.
Are we talking about shot? Are we talking about shot put?
Shot, yeah. Shot put,
a little baby javelin. Oh, okay.
Shot and disc, yeah.
Nice.
I threw the shot put in high school. I threw the shot put in high school. I thought I was doing something. Then I went to Charleston and saw them big old boys in Stratford, Somerville, Fort Dorchester, Somerville, Sumter, the best of the best. And I was like, I'm done singing here. I'm just traveling to hang out with the boys. That's all. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I don't want to be. I was throwing the shot put together the house. I'm like, I think I'm doing something. And then this. And
country fed boys.
Them get you throw that shot put, man. Hey man, they throw that thing real far, man. How long you is? Hey, don't ask me that. Don't answer that kind of question, man. All right, so here we go. We got the Hall of Famer himself, Uncle Max. He said, for me, it's the dream team. They dominated everyone they played by winning every game by an average of 44 points. All right. It really took the sting out of the refs giving the shaft to the USA basketball team in 1972 by extending the game for goal by 3 seconds, allowing the Soviets to win the game. It was later found that the extension of the game was not warranted, but the Olympic Committee refused to overturn it. The Olympic Committee is crooked.
Have you ever seen the footage of what happened in that?
No, Scott, enlighten us, please.
Well, I can't remember all the details off the top of my head, but the USA was playing the Soviet Union and actually had that game won twice. And the referees like put more time on the clock, and they threw a length of the court pass, and they scored a layup and won the gold. And the United States team never accepted the silver medals. I believe the Olympic Committee still owns the silver medals, but Mike Dunleavy was on that team. And I remember seeing him being interviewed about it. And he said, we won that gold. We're not taking the silver medals. And I don't believe they ever did. I think the silver medals are still left vacated because it was rotten what happened. And again, I'd have to go back and rewatch the details, but I know that there was something that happened with the referee and extending the game and making like the United States had won and they're jumping around, hug, super long pass. One of their guys gets free and just throws it in and they win. And it wasn't right.
No, that was crazy. And you talk, that's a 50-year grudge, man.
Yeah.
But hey, just so you know, we got these silver medals. Hey man, you can keep them. Because we won. You're dirty.
Hey, don't worry. We got them back in 1980.
Yeah, in 1980, 92, and then
the miracle on ice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got the Russians back.
The freaking Ruskies.
Yeah, you know what I learned, fellas? You know how you watch like the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and they have the countries and everything, and then there's like the ROC Olympic team.
Yeah,
I guess is refugees that have defected from their countries, but they still want to compete.
Yeah, I've been watching that. I wasn't exactly clear on why that Russian team was competing under that banner, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, can't you just represent your country? But I mean, if you can't, I mean, if you have your reasons, political or social, I get it. It's just.
Wasn't the Russian team like banned because of doping?
I think so. I think the Russian team got in trouble. Yeah, I think they got in trouble.
So, but probably a lot of their athletes are like they're not allowed to represent Russia, but now they can like represent themselves in Olympic competition because they ain't had nothing to do with that doping scandal. But so yeah. Also, because I believe that was the last answer that we had, correct? That you had, right?
Yep, last one.
Matty Ice did include an answer as well.
Whoa!
He said he was fresh. He was fresh out of jail, and he hit us up, and so he actually hit us up on our like page, and he said he spoke of this. He said, "I've only seen short clips and stories, but considering all the unjust negativity towards our own athletes, let's not forget what Jesse Owens accomplished and in the times he did it with Hitler watching. I also think some of his records still hold today." And so shout out to Jesse Owens and the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And this was when Adolf Hitler was part of the opening committee and was speaking on the authoritarianism, the supremacy of the Aryan race, which we've all know that today does not exist whatsoever. We're just a conglomerate of beautiful people all across this world and athletes alike, and that is something that is beautiful about the Olympics. And how dare they start off the Olympics in that manner? But that also ended up being a trivia question when I was at trivia last week. The 3 years besides 2020 that the Olympics were canceled, and it was 1916, World War I, 1940, and 1944. And I got that wrong because I remember the Hitler freaking speech and everything, story about that. I thought it was 1940 he did. That was actually 1936. But that was a big shout out to Jesse Owens and what he did. I believe he got four gold medals in the 36 Olympics.
Yep.
4 of them things. Yeah.
Jesse Owens said, "That's cool. Watch this. 1, 2, 3." As Arn Anderson said, I make that funny cramp with my left hand. The symbol of excellence. He won 4. Scottie D, what you got for your memory favorite athlete of all time of the Olympics?
Yeah, right now it might be a tie between number 6 for the Italy volleyball team and number
Jesus,
11.
Lord.
There's
Turn
a couple
it off. Turn that TV off.
What's their name, Scottie D? What's their name? We might need to know it's for
11 and 6. 11 and 6.
Lord have mercy. 11 and 6, 17.
14 is kind of nice looking too. You know, I really liked Michael Johnson, and he gets overlooked a lot because he was run the 200. He wasn't the sprinting stud that Carl Lewis was. But my favorite is Lolo Jones.
Oh,
I've mentioned it before. You guys know I love Lolo. Lolo, the high hurdler who in Beijing in 2008 hit the next to last hurdle. She was about to win gold. She was a favorite to win the gold, and she did not win the gold. She finished 7th instead of 1st, and she was right there ready to claim the gold medal. And she was so gracious in defeat, and she's been back. And then the next time she went to the Olympics, her time would have won any other Olympics, and I think she got 4th. She's one of the few athletes in history to also be a winter Olympian as well as a summer Olympian. She's been on the bobsled team, and just a classy individual. I just love her. I think she's beautiful. I think she's classy. She has a new book out too. And I forget the name of it.
That's okay.
Go buy it. But Lolo Jones is my favorite because I love her for so many reasons. I think she's fantastic. And I also like number 8 on the Italy volleyball team.
I gotta do some research because you over here smitten kitten. Be Live, who you got?
I'm over here. I'm already doing the research of what it looks like.
Jesus, all the co-hosts is thrown off track. As soon as they see some beautiful women, it's so
I'm just looking up just for research for Scott. Number 11 for the Italian squad. Her name is Anna Denisi.
What about this blonde on the USA team?
Number 11. Got that for you.
Number 11 on USA, man.
11 on USA.
We'll get to her. We'll get to her later. Go ahead.
So I said it 2 weeks ago, and I keep trying to find something else that I can maybe not keep going back to the same answer over and over again. He already done been mentioned. Usain Bolt. It's just I ain't even gonna try it. That dude's just stupid fast. 9.58. This really what else can't there be said? Freaking, and the style that he did it, freaking, he had his own little thing. It's just it was, man. Jamaica.
You know what else I loved about him, and I'm sure you've seen it, the clip that went around Facebook where he was being interviewed and stopped the interview to honor the United States national anthem, which was playing in the background. I thought that was a classy thing to do because it was not even his own national anthem. He stopped an interview just to show respect to the USA national anthem. I love that. I love Usain Bolt. I mean, again, he's like he was such a freak of nature with how great he was. I mean, you just couldn't touch him. No, I mean, nobody was really even close to him. He was just goodbye. How about you, Eddy? Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing some research purposes too. I would say, man, let's see. Michael Phelps. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Michael Phelps, for obvious reasons, swim away. Then you can't forget Usain Bolt. But a name that doesn't really get talked about enough, Rulon Gardner.
Oh, the wrestler.
Yeah, the wrestler, big bald dude, kind of like Curly from the Three Stooges, but he was a heavyweight and he was getting it done. I mean, his performance was epic, man. The epic, just so doggone epic. Usain just quicker than a hiccup, faster than lightning in a bottle. And then Michael Phelps is a fish. He's a human fish. He got water in his gills. He's a walking, talking, living, breathing fish. And Rulon Gardner was just big, putting that big body on everybody and just getting that pin. I'm not killing roaches. I'm just simulating the pin in Olympic style wrestling. Because in professional wrestling is 1, 2, 3. But as soon as in amateur wrestling and Olympic wrestling, there's a square on your back. As soon as that square touches the mat, referee holds their hand up, award points, get the win. And that's that. All right. And with that being said, that was another edition of the Choices of the Voices. Shout out to Jim Hansen, Benjamin Miller, Charles Nagy. The G is silent. Oh, real G is moving silence like lasagna. Anyways, Jennifer June Roberts, JR with 1,000 answers, Corey Logren, Eric Tarpley, Dana Holston, because I don't want to butcher your last name, and the Hall of Famer Uncle Max. And did we get one from Maddie Ice as well, too?
Yes, sir. Maddie Ice is back.
Fresh out.
Back.
Fresh
back
out
again.
Fresh out the Zucker pokey, the Zucker penalty box. And we all gave our answers. With that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for next week's Choices of the Voices?
Interesting. Nobody picked Dan and Dave. Anyway, moving on from that.
Oh, man, they had the commercials. Oh, man.
Yeah, remember Dan and Dave?
Oh, yeah.
The Reebok guys, yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, so next week we're gonna turn away from the Olympics and into football. And this is not going to be a deep thinking one. This is a very simple one. But what NFL team's helmet do you like the best, excluding your favorite team? Favorite helmet, and some of them are changed. So look them up. Make sure you got some of these change from year to year. I mean, we know the Cowboys have the best, the silver with the blue star. We know that's the best, but I can't say that because that's my favorite team. So
we know.
So you guys probably will both choose that one, but
no, we will not.
Best NFL, best helmet in the NFL, not your favorite team's helmet. And at Eddy Cool, give us something to talk about next week.
Sure will. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in another edition of Choices of the Voices. Smile big, y'all.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Well, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get the hell up out of here. But before we go, we got another round of pepper. You know how we do it. 3 topics each, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, but it's guaranteed to enlighten, engage, entertain, and educate. Yes, I got it right. The 4 E's. My name begins with an E, but that's neither here nor there. And in typical Eddy Cool fashion, you know I love my sports history. With that being said, I'll go first, all right? Since we're talking about the Olympics, on this day in history, back in 1996, Andre Agassi wins gold medal in men's tennis in the Summer Games in Atlanta, Georgia, ATL shouty, as he beat Spaniard Sergey Beguera 6-2, 6-3, 6-2, and Andre Agassi, he gets the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. No, we're not. So shout out to Andre Agassi for getting that gold. Over to you, Scottie D.
All right, couple gold shout outs here. Well, actually, a single gold shout out to Xander Schauffele for winning the gold for the United States in golf. Very happy to see him. Happy for him because that's a guy who's been knocking on the majors doors and has not broken through. USA Hoops, I believe, still in it. Had a rough start, but I think they've advanced, so they still have a chance to go. And I did watch. Well, currently, as we're recording, I'm watching the USA women volleyball team against Italy's volleyball team. I watched the men's team last night against Argentina, I believe, and I went to bed and didn't see the end. But let me just tell you this about this volleyball: too much hugging after every single point. After every point, everybody has to go to the center and do like a group hug. It's kind of like, well, they probably practice it because BLive tells me that you practice the handshake when you shoot free throws, and you shoot free throw, then you have to shake everybody's hand on the team. That's the same with volleyball. It's just hugging this group of people you're ever going to meet. It's just cut it out. Just spike a ball, turn around and flex or something. You don't have to hug every time.
Go back to your spot and get set. What's wrong with you? Don't touch me.
Yeah, enough hugging in volleyball. Every point doesn't need a hug. Come on.
Don't touch me. Your breath stink.
Camaraderie. And possibly a little bit of coaching. Good job. All right.
They're all sweaty and tall.
Don't touch me. You stink.
Yeah. Too much hugging.
Right. Well, speaking of people being stank, not really, but hey, this is how you want to operate your team. This is how you want to operate your team. Coach Sanders formerly known as Dion, insists that reporters refer to him as Coach Sanders and not by his first name. And one reporter refused to do so because he says he calls everybody by their first name, and he's going to continue to do so. But the big stink was the fact that who he referred to, with him being his second year as a coach of Jackson State, he referred to himself in similarity to arguably the greatest college football coach ever, in the tune of Coach Saban. And he says that nobody calls Coach Saban Nick. So why would you call me Dion? I prefer Coach Sanders. Yeah. Coach Sanders, do what you got to do. What you got to do to teach your players and run your program. I applaud him for it because he wants to set that precedent. He's a coach. He's not Hollywood Dion anymore. He's a coach, and he's in charge of many young people's lives. And if they get too casual with it, on the line, suicide. Eddie Cool, the ball.
Yep, you gonna call me Coach Prime. You can't call me Dion. Now, if you call me Dion again, I'm gonna have to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go. Yeah, you did it again. I gotta go. That ends this week with you. All right, not a bad Dion impersonation, man. That's another
pretty good.
That's another I added my arsenal. Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, I got a few of them. One of them I had to get rid of, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so here we go. Once again, on this day in history, back in 1986. The first American Bowl exhibition was played at London's Wembley Stadium, and the Chicago Bears beat Scottie D's Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh, bad.
Yeah, 17-6. But guess what, Scottie D? Coming up on August the 5th, 2021, in Canton, Ohio, at Tom Benson Stadium, the Hall of Fame game, the game that we did not get last year, and we didn't get the year before because I think the turf was tore the hell up. But anyways, we're going to get it, Scottie D, with your Dallas Cowboys playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Hall of Fame game. Fellas, like B-Live mentioned earlier, this will be the last podcast without football. Moving forward, it's going to be football.
That's why I wore my jersey.
Yep.
That's why I wore my jersey, because I'm like, we're almost there. Almost. Oh my God. Our favorite time of the year. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but we're all three of us are very enthusiastic about the pigskin, the football. And that's American football. Yes,
we're into fantasy football season here. I'm sure Eddie's going to mention a little bit more about that here in a moment. But so speaking of the beginning of training camp, Mr. Jared Jones, owner of America's Team, last week prior to the opening of camp, said, "There is nothing I wouldn't do to get the Dallas Cowboys back to the Super Bowl." And you're lying. You're lying. I don't want to ever hear you say that. A couple years ago, he said, "There's no amount of money I wouldn't spend to get the Cowboys back to the Super Bowl." And that I believe. That's true. But when you say there's nothing you wouldn't do, you're lying, because you could have stepped aside as the general manager before 25 years without advancing to an NFC championship game. And you didn't do it. So don't lie to me, Jera. Don't lie to me. Just keep taking my money, because I'm going to keep giving it to you and your stupid team. And you're going to keep missing plays. And by the way, Troy Aikman possibly could be the GM, and he said the other day it's something he would consider. Well, don't just consider it, do it. Go get it done. Go get it done. Get him away from Joe Buck on Sundays and get him into the Dallas Cowboys office and get me back to the Super Bowl, Jera, before your death. Be live. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed what we like to call hashtag Money Man Rant. Gotta love it.
I think at least get back to the Super Bowl before my death. Get back there before my death, Jera.
I think Scottie threw his pen.
I did.
Nobody wants to see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. We probably won't. All right. With that being said,
Jera Jones.
At some point in time in each one of our episodes, some point in time, hashtag all roads lead to Dabo.
That's twice.
And with that being said, we're going to go with a little Olympics situation that we have going on with the former Clemson student athlete, won an Olympic medal this weekend by the name of Patricia Mamona. She claimed a silver medal for Portugal, her home country, but she did attend Clemson University. Go Tigers! Yes, bleed orange. And she attended back in 2007 to 2011, where she was a two-time NCAA champion in the triple jump. Two-time NCAA champion. And now she has a silver medal in the Olympics. Hats off to Patricia Mamona and to my own Clemson Tigers. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Eddy Cool. The ball.
Asia Wilson, who's on Team USA, the lovely and wonderful and talented Asia Wilson, who also went to the University of South Carolina. She had a nice game live. She scored like 25 points, shot 63% from the field. I think she had like 10 rebounds, and so yeah, Asia Wilson, not to be outdone. All right, fellas. So here we go.
So you're not even gonna say anything about the women's coach,
Don Staley.
Yeah. If you're gonna throw in everything, I'm helping you out.
I appreciate it.
You want to one up people and everything.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This just said West Virginia scored. No.
Wow.
Like
and
Michael
Phelps just smoked another blunt on your campus.
He wanna be high. Hey, so high, swim with me. All right, fellas. Shout out to this whole state of South Carolina in general. But didn't somebody from Charleston win a shot put award? The hammer throw, I forgot her name. But yeah, and Chris Middleton, he from Charleston, he got a ring too, so it's all good. All right, so this next, I try to stay within the realm of sports when it comes to these peppers, but every once in a while, I gotta do some talking. So this just goes out to this is unscripted, but it's off the top of my head. All right, so here we go. Sorry. People, you like to micromanage and nitpick. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to find the dump button because you know what? That drives people like me crazy. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. For example, I'm a firm believer of if there's a specific way that you want something done, let me know up front. Because if you don't, I will assume that I am smart enough to figure things out. Prime example, there was something that happened with me the last time I was home, and it had something to do with a leaf blower. I'm no green thumb Jimmy, but you know what? I'm pretty smart. I got a costume. I can put two and two together, right? You know, I know how to edit a podcast, and I know how to, write songs and do all this other creative stuff. So when a person does the best they can with what they have and with the knowledge that they have, common sense 101, do not come back and be a micromanager because that just makes my itch. All right. So I left one or two leaves in the yard. It's like, what about this? I said, you know what? It's on you, baby. You can have it. You can keep it. Another thing is when someone's driving, I'm going to tell you what not to do, okay? If you made multiple trips across the country and you survived them all, you haven't gotten pulled over by the police. You haven't been stranded on the side of the road. You've went to point A to point B without a hitch, without anything. You know what you need to do? You need to sit your ass in that passenger seat and shut the hell up. Because I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I'll say it for those that don't want to say it or they're scared, they might get yelled at. Damn it, I'll say it. If you don't like the way I do something, tell me how to do it. And if you still moaning, whining, and tripping, We're going to pull this car over. I'm going to put my ass in the passenger seat and turn on episode 118 of the Sports Bros podcast, and you're going to drive. Because what you're not about to do is get on my nerves. So if you was a micromanager or a nitpicker, stop it. Don't do it. Scottie D, over to you.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program. And that is, the last time we spoke to you, our audience, the Milwaukee Bucks were on the verge of winning the NBA championship, and they did. Actually, I believe I predicted Bucks in 6, but that's what we got. And I had a great time watching this series because it was a lot of fun. It was the kind of basketball that I liked. It wasn't just a complete 3-point shootout. Guys, more than ever, Giannis has been around for a while now, but this was the most I've seen him come out of his shell. He's been charming and funny and fun. It's been just a pleasure. It was a pleasure watching him play. It was a pleasure watching a team that was not a super team get to the finals and win it. Unfortunately, now we're back to our regularly scheduled program because next year we'll probably have a healthy Brooklyn Nets team. We got Westbrook going to the Lakers, maybe Dwight Howard joining up with LeBron and AD again. Golden State's not done yet, probably making some deals. So the super team thing is not going away just because the Bucks won this championship. It's probably not going to happen. Enjoy it while it lasts. Congratulations to Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Be Live, over to you.
Before we go any further, Giannis went to Chick-fil-A and got a 50-piece nugget.
Yeah.
And the
not
girl's
49,
like,
not 51.
And the girl's like, I don't know who this is. Lord have mercy, you got to pay attention. But I bet if it was one of the most stinking Kardashians, oh, I know who that is. This man just won a championship in your city. You got a guy that don't want to play quarterback. But Giannis won a championship and he won the right way. I didn't know who this is. Be Live, go ahead. Be Live, just do what you do. Just do.
Like it's not and like this dude does, and it's not like this dude doesn't stand 7 feet tall. Like, right. Come on, really? Yeah, do better.
Eddie's got 2 weeks to unleash there too. He's letting it all roll out at this point. Take us home on Pepper, buddy. Take us home.
Well, as I alluded to at the beginning of this episode, this is going to be something that is a first of the 118 episode history of the Sports Bros podcast. And I'm going to admit that,
Come on. Spit it out. Spit it out.
I'm about to fall off this chair. Hurry up.
Spit it out.
Okay. That Scottie, the money man was correct in his assessment when it came to name, image, and likeness in college football. And we just barely scratched the surface. And the reason why he's correct and 100% correct is this. The number one quarterback recruit, he's already committed to Ohio State. And this is for 2022, mind you. So he has 1 year left of high school, but he is looking to forego his senior year in high school because he's already received offers for his name, image, and likeness that have already hit 7 figures. He's up in the $1 million category to the point where he wants to forego his senior year in high school.
So he's gonna be a dummy.
What essentially is happening is that he's not going to play. He's not going to play football. He's still going to be in high school.
Okay.
But he's not going to play his senior year in football because
I hate that so much.
Because with him accepting any type of deals, he will lose his amateurship in high school, and so he wouldn't be eligible to play anyway. But he's turning down his high school, his teammates, his school, his community, all of the above to accept money for his name, image, and likeness. Scottie D, I apologize to you. You were 100% correct. I could not fathom something like this. I thought, but see, here's the thing. I was thinking college kids, they are adults, 18 years old. They have the right, et cetera, et cetera. This kid has not graduated high school yet.
Yeah, I didn't think about that that situation either, really.
Nah,
that's crazy.
Unbelievable. If I'm gonna tell you right now, if he's already doing this in high school where he doesn't give a crap about his teammates, about his school, about his friends, family, et cetera, that he wants to go ahead and chase it, that money's still gonna be there. That money's still gonna be there the following year. It's going to be there. But the fact that I've not looked at much about him and his high school career, but I'm pretty sure that his team is probably up there. They may have won a state title or been in contention for it. And there's all these other kids that he's been the leader of the team. There's a reason why he's the number one quarterback in the country. He has to be the leader of the team at the quarterback position. And you're willing to forego all of that for $1? I said it at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say it at the end of the show. For the love of money is the root of all evil. This is ridiculous. Scottie D, I apologize. You are 100% correct. This is ridiculous. Ohio State, be warned right now. This is who you got as your future quarterback. You've recruited him. He's committed. Quinn Ewers, whatever. Whoever. I got to get his name right, I guess, because his name, image, and likeness is worth $1 million to somebody.
Yeah, he'll be in the NFL next year, probably the year after. It's crazy.
No, he'll be in the fan controlled football league. It's levels to this.
Oh,
yeah, he's really looking Johnny Manzielish right now. Just saying, come on, you're a little full of yourself, and this is the precedent that we've set for high school athletes. We haven't even got to college yet. Ridiculous.
Well, Flemlo Raps will have a video about him in another 2 years. Mark my words on that. Is that all we got for Pepper, fellas?
That's all we got. Lolo Jones, Over It is the name of her book.
Okay.
Can't wait to read it.
All right.
My future wife, the future Lolo Donnelly.
Lolo Donnelly. Hey, that was pretty nice off the tongue. As the Sports Bros mentioned earlier, B Live and Scottie D mentioned earlier, fantasy football. Yes, we are coming back. We're coming back. Just to let you know, we will be coming back for this season, and hopefully we get a new champion. We will get a new champion. There's no money on the line. The entry is free, and we just talking smack and having fun and just doing what we do best. Just talking about fantasy football. So that's coming up soon as well, too. To those that are listening that were in the Fantasy Football League last year, I've already sent invites. I will send out the invites again. If you cannot, for some reason, participate this year in the Fantasy Football League, let myself, Be Live, or Scottie D know so that way we can fill the spot in as quick as possible. So other than that, get ready for some fantasy football, and the draft should be coming up within another 2, maybe 3 weeks towards the end of the month, but just be ready. Be ready. That was another edition of Pepper, a little update. And with that being said, that is another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. As you can tell, yeah, we ran long. Why? Because we are happy to be back and talking sports now more than ever. All right. Fellas, any closing words before we get up out of here? Eat some chicken and hate watch Monday Night Raw with the fans in the stands. And no Bray Wyatt. What the hell?
Quick update.
Okay.
Quick update. He is leaving school entirely. He is enrolling early to Ohio State, and he's going to try to complete his the rest of his high school curriculum online. His high school made it to the state finals last year. And on top of that, their first game of the season, high school, mind you, the first game of the season is nationally televised at Dallas's AT&T Stadium. Are you kidding me?
See, you're taking away part of the tail end of your childhood by doing this kind of stuff. I mean, You turn legal adult at 18, and your high school years are your formidable years, and now that's going to be tainted as well by the almighty dollar. That's too bad.
Senior prom,
Yeah.
girls, free lunch.
He's gonna roll. He's gonna roll into college early, and they're still looking to see if he'll actually be eligible this coming season. But he's expected to join the Ohio State program for summer training camp in August. So it looks like he's trying to graduate over the summer. Like, this story just came out today, and so
All right.
He better be good. He better be good. He better be good. That's all I gotta say. He better be good. If not,
it's one of those things where when did this actual announcement happen? Because I feel like he quit on his football team after they had this nationally televised game coming up. Like, what, as a high school coach, I mean, next man up, of course, but you just reached the state championship.
He was the star.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Scottie D, anything you got to say before we get up out of here?
1 little, 2 little, 3 little guardians, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little guardians, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little guardians, 10 little guardian boys. Go Guardians.
The Guardian is real quick. The Guardian is on the I think it's called Hope Bridge. Anyways, the bridge in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Where the Guardian, I guess that's the Guardian of the city, and he's holding a car.
Yeah.
And doing some other stuff, so I can see where the name came from. But that one logo,
no, everybody's thinking Guardians of the Galaxy. We all know everybody's thinking that's a. They could have been the spiders, Eddie. You could have had so much marketing with spiders and spider webs and all kind of cool stuff. I don't like it.
They could have been the Cleveland Stags, man. Whether you know it or not, man, they got deer running all up and down the city. You're like this is ridiculous. See, Scottie D is so mad. He's getting up out of here. And in closing,
hold on before you do it. I'm sorry. Breaking news: the Cleveland Indians may have committed, as they say in roller derby, an illegal procedure while rebranding themselves as the Cleveland Guardians. A roller derby team that has existed for nearly 10 years has operated under the name and even runs the website clevelandguardians.com.
Oh, no. The story's getting worse. It's getting worse.
The Cleveland baseball team. Yep.
The roller derby team name.
I cannot make this up.
Roller derby team. Oh, my. The Cleveland Spiders. Get it right. Get it done. Do better.
And then closing.
That's all I have to say. I'm out of here. Good night.
Lord have mercy. And then closing. Do
something nice for all that.
Yeah, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll appreciate it now more than ever. Let's be a lesson to you before you start naming stuff. Make sure nobody else takes the damn name, all right? This has been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Remember, nitpicking, not cool. Be a blessing, not a burden. Don't be getting on nobody's nerves. Mental health matters. Get out my face. Leave me alone. No, I'm joking. Hey, y'all take care. We love y'all. Happy to be back and see y'all next week. Be live. Hit it with it.
Yes, sir.
We gone. Bye, y'all. You know, man.